evening and welcome to the semifinals of the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships, coming to you live from the Richmond Curling Centre, Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. On Sheet E this evening, we have Team China versus Team Latvia. The winning team will advance to the gold medal game tomorrow, and the losing team will advance to the bronze medal game. So we expect to see a great matchup here this evening between China and Latvia. These two teams have not played each other so far this week. They have both qualified out of different groups. Team China qualified out of Group A with a round-robin record of 9-0. Latvia qualified out of Group B with a round-robin record of 6-2. So earlier today, Latvia did defeat Slovakia in the qualifier to advance to the semifinal. So thank you for joining us this evening. We look forward to a fantastic mixed doubles game between both of these teams. On Sheet C, the other semifinal is the Team United States, who earlier today defeated England in their qualifier game. Canada did receive the bye to the semifinal because their record in Group B was 8-0. And off to a good start here. For those watching mixed doubles curling for the first time, there are two stones placed to start the end. So Team Latvia without hammer has a centerline guard, and Team China with hammer had their stone placed in the back of the forefoot. So it's currently Team China sitting two with hammer here in the first end. This mixed doubles wheelchair semifinal. Team China looking for the come around guard draw here. And that one will just rub that Latvian centerline guard. We've got a number of spectators out here this evening watching the action live. Great energy in the building watching these playoffs. And a draw attempt here by Oroshkova of Latvia. Almost like just to the back of the 8-foot. So nice attempt there. So you see Chen of China looking to follow that path. They like this rock full 8-foot in front of the tee line. It should be pretty close on this one. And they'll just come up and bump off of that Latvian stone in the back 8-foot. So an opportunity here for Oroshkova of Latvia to draw one in here. Full 4-foot would give them shot stone. pretty late. Those rocks need to get to the 4-foot line. And a really nice draw there. So we'll see Team China making a play on that yellow Latvian stone, sitting on the side 4-foot. This is a tricky spot because once you get to that 4-foot line, the rock will curl. That one will just rub off that corner guard. Really nice weight on that stone by CHN. Just rub off. It's an opportunity here by Lasmans out of Latvia to get another stone into the 4-foot and put some pressure on Team China. It's mixed doubles. We'll see tons of rocks in play. The semifinals of the World Wheelchair Curling Championships they kept the games very clean, so we'll see a bit of an opposite strategy here with mixed doubles. More rocks in play every end. Really nice draw coming in here. Needs to slow down. Will rub off their own and roll right onto the button. So beautiful shot there by Lasmans of Latvia. Currently sitting 1 without hammer here in the first end. Team China taking a look at the angles, seeing if there's any way in there to remove that Latvian stone. Take a peek over on sheet C. It looks like Canada currently has 4 stones in the ring with hammer. The United States in a little bit of trouble in the first end over on sheet C. Oh, and a beautiful hit and roll by the United States over on sheet C. You can catch that game on recast through the World Curling Federation or on CBC Sports live stream. So final stone being thrown by Wang of Team China. Looks like a run back attempt here. And I'm not sure that may have done the trick for Team China. Both teams will take a look to confirm the score. They may have moved the yellow enough for 1, but I can see Lasman indicating a measure. So they're going to measure these stones here. It's an exciting start between China and Latvia after the first end of light. And the score is in. It looks like Latvia steals two here after the first end of play against Team China. So a great start here for Team Latvia. China took a bit of a risk on their last stone, and it almost paid off for the one. So some exciting curling here to start off the semifinal game in the 2023 Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships. To give you a score update, Team Canada took one in the first end with hammer. So it's a 1-0 game for Canada over the United States. And here on our sheet E, we've got Latvia up 2-0 over Team China. And a nice draw there by Latvia. So it looks like both of these teams are sticking with the same rotation that we saw in the first end. With mixed doubles, they do have the option of adjusting their lineup at the completion of every end. So athletes can either throw the first stones and the last stones, or they can throw the middle 3 stones. So Ming of China throwing the first stones of the end. A nice looking draw coming in here. Just bump that Latvian stone to the back 12 and roll onto the button. Yeah, and a nice draw there into the top 8 foot. Anytime you can keep these stones in front of the tee line, you'll be able to use them later in the end. And I've just been informed that Lasmus is a replacement on Team Latvia due to an injury with the original player on this team. So it's great to see someone being able to step in and the team still having success. I think that was a guard attempt by Team China, and that one looks like it over curled, like they were trying to protect the right hand side of the sheet to prevent Team Latvia from making the come around draw. You'll see Team China coming down to take a look. We'll see this team coming down to look at the angles early on. I had the opportunity to watch one of their games earlier in the week, and I noticed they like to take time in setting up in the first half of the game, and then we'll see them later on to save time. They will stick around in the delivering end. So nice looking draw coming in here. Line was really nice on that stone. Just need a couple feet more weight. So these athletes also have the option of having someone holding a broom in the rings to give your teammate a target, or they can both be at the delivering end. And so sometimes we will see them both at the delivering end using the buddy system to anchor one another. So the non-throwing player will roll up behind their teammate. They'll brace the wheels, and that just helps the chair from slipping as these athletes are throwing and delivering these stones. So they want to be able to stay on the line as they're throwing, and so having someone there to anchor and brace the chair just keeps them stable. Nice draw attempt there by Chen of Team China. That rock in a pretty good position. See if Rushkova looks to make a hit attempt on these stones. And right on the nose. So it is still Team China sitting 2 with last rock here in the second end. Team Latvia has a couple of yellow stones in front of the rings that they can use. So Lasmus also played in the World Wheelchair Curling Championships this week. So great to see this athlete supporting this mixed doubles team so they could participate after an unfortunate injury to the original player. Few options here for Team China. They could opt to make a hit on the yellow Latvian stone on the right-hand side of the rings. There is a potential for a jam. You may also see them guarding these stones to prevent Latvia from promoting them, forcing them to the wider open side. So we'll see what their comfort level is. They are a solid hitting team. Gets by the center guard. And a nice rock there by Chen of Team China. Comes off this top stone, removes the Latvian stone on the right-hand side. It doesn't look like that one is quite third shot, so it's still Team China sitting 2 with last rock. And a couple options here for Team Latvia. They could look at playing another double attempt. Those guards are quite high, so there would be room to also make a freeze on Team China's stone on the button, where they do have their yellow stone that they can tap up. With last rock here, you'd like to minimize Team China scoring any more than 2. Whichever option you decide to go with, you'd like to make their last stone more difficult. United States-Canada game. It looks like the United States is currently sitting 2 with hammer. I had heard a big round of applause, so I think the Canadians made a nice stone to limit Team United States to 2. At least from my angle, it looks like 2, 1 for sure. So final stone being ready to be thrown here on sheet 8 by Lasmans of Latvia. Looks like we're setting up for the come around draw here. You'd like to lock this one on to Team China's stone, right on the button. At least get full 4 foot. Weight's looking a little heavy on this one. It's really close, just needs to curl a bit more. A nice attempt there by Lasmans of Team Latvia. Just overthrew that slightly, a little less weight, and it would have caught more curl as that stone came into the 4 foot lines. So an opportunity here. Team China to score 3 in the second end with hammer. I can confirm that it was 2 for the United States over on sheet C. So it's now 2-1. United States over Canada. Canada will have hammer playing the third end. So a draw for 3. Available for Team China. Room past the guards. And a beautiful stone by Wang. We'll just rub off of theirs into the back 4. So it will be 3-2 for China over Latvia. Latvia will have hammer heading into the third end.
Just wait till they take a few more to the side.
We are all set to start the third end here in the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships semifinal. Latvia will have hammer this end. So their stone is placed in the back 4 foot. Team China's stone placed as a center line guard. Wang likes the look of this stone. And he'll stop just in the top of the 4 foot. So both of these teams sticking with their same rotation once again. Team China, Wang has been throwing the first stones and the last stones, and Chen has been throwing the middle 3. On Team Latvia, we've had Lasmans throwing the first stone and last stone, and Roshkova throwing the middle 3. Really nice looking stone coming in here. Beautiful weight control by Lasmans. Gets to the nose, pushes that Team China stone to the back of the forefoot. Moves it over enough that they could remove it from play without the gem on their yellow stone in the back of the 8-foot. So a draw attempt here by Chen of Team China. Nice rock placement there. We'll just bump the Latvian stone. So now that 3 stones have been played this end, the teams are allowed to make takeout attempts. So in mixed doubles, 3 stones have to have been thrown before any stones can be removed out of play. Making a tap on this yellow stone. This one's gonna rub off of Team China's. And a nice stone there by Roshkova of Latvia. Great rock positioning. Lines up the Chinese stones on the other side of the sheet. With both of these teams not having a player holding a broom in the house, they will spend time traveling up and down the ice to take a look. That will use some time up on their clocks. So we will see them having to quicken the pace of their play later on in this game. As you get more rocks in play, sometimes it is important to know where you want to hit these stones or to tap them up. So knowing the lines, being able to see the paths, it's very important for these athletes. They're very precise in selecting their lines for delivering these stones. Once they let go, all they can do is watch them travel down the ice. There's no sweeping and wheelchair curling to hold the line straight or to make a rock curl. So these athletes are making all of these shots all on their own. So looking for a tap on their stone, on the top of the forefoot. Might even be playing, trying to navigate that hole. That stone will rust just in the top 8-foot in front of the Latvian yellow stone, just off the center line. Might see Latvia choose to make a takeout attempt on those Chinese stones on the right hand side of the forefoot. get as close to nose as possible to avoid a jam at the back. This one's looking really nice. Right on the mark by Roshkova. I know she jammed that one. She left her delivered stone in a really good position. It's in front of Team China's stone. It can be used as a short run back, or there's multiple tap opportunities on the left-hand side of the sheet. So a really nice setup here. Great rock positioning. High Team Latvia with hammer in the third end. Peeking over to sheet C, it looks like Team Canada is currently sitting 2 for sure with last rock in the third end. Looks like final stone from the United States about to be thrown. The United States does have room to make a draw into the full 4-foot. United States stone has a pretty nice line. It does look a little heavy and it slides to the back 8-foot. So Team Canada currently sitting 2. Last rock to come. Looks like Team China has made a decision on what they'd like to play with this stone by Chen. You know they can throw the hits to move a lot of stones around in the rings. This one looks like they might be trying to protect that short yellow to red run back on the 4-foot. And a nice guard there by Chen of Team China. Latvia would have had a nice view of the angles in the rings, so we'll see what they decide to do with this stone. Looks like Latvia was attempting to make the tap back, needs to get by that corner guard. They do a tap and bump. What a beautiful curling shot by Roshkova of Latvia. Makes the tap into the Team China stone. I believe Latvia is sitting 4 for sure. That Team China stone is just out counting the one thrown by Roshkova on that last one. So Team China in some trouble here. The third end of this mixed doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championship semifinal. And it looks like Team Canada missed their opportunity for 3 in the third. So they score 2. So they are now up 3-2 over the United States, heading into the fourth end of play. coming up is the final stone being delivered by Wang of Team China. In some trouble here. Team Latvia currently sitting 4 with last stone advantage. Looks like they're opting for the wide draw. I think they were attempting to come around everything into the 8-foot. And this rock is going to overcurl and tap Latvia up. So Latvia is now sitting 5 with last rock advantage. Here in the third end, 1 stone still to come. They just need full 8-foot to score a perfect 6 ends here in the third. So a big shot coming up here by Lasmus of Latvia. So just need full 8-foot. You have room to come and freeze on top of your stones on the left-hand side of the sheet. Line on this one's looking really nice. And it's all smiles for Team Latvia as they score a big 6-ender here in the third. The 2023 World Wheelchair Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. They're going to be really happy with that one. That really builds your confidence. So Team China is going to have some work to do here, heading into the fourth end. And we are ready to start the fourth end here. For those of you just joining us, Latvia scored a perfect 6-ender in the third. They are currently up 8-3 over Team China. Team China will have last stone advantage here in the fourth end. And a nice little bump freeze there by Lasmus of Latvia. So a nice come around attempt there. Not a bad result if you're Team China. You do have two corner guards that you can use. That Latvian stone is open in the forefoot, right on the button. So a nice looking draw coming into the rings.
What was her second last shot? She did a raise.
And that one will stop just biting the forefoot. So a nice come around draw there by Team China. In the top 8 foot. Those Latvian stones are behind the tee line, so if you're Team China, stones are your friend right now if you're looking to build an end up.
We had a few fives.
So this one will slide into the rings. I think they were looking for that one to stay on the center line. That stone in a good position to be promoted or used as a run back later in this end. So I think we'll see Team China make a play on that stone in the button. Let's see if they decide to throw some weight at this one. I think they're looking at making a play at this top yellow stone, looking for a double, and connects there to make the double. So a nice shot there by CHN, Team China. Latvia still sitting, shot stone in the back forefoot. So a couple of options here for Team Latvia. They could opt to ignore removing any of those Team China stones out of play. They're currently guarding their shot stone in the back forefoot. They could look at trying another one into the top forefoot behind Team China stones. They could consider drawing to the opposite side of the rings. They would just need to be full 8 foot. So you could go T-line behind the red corner guard as well. You would just want to ensure that your rock is far enough back you don't leave Team China a double for 3. Being up 8-3, another option would be to play the double on those top Team China stones. There is a risk playing that double in that it could jam into your stone or it could open up your stone as well. So it looks like Latvia has opted for the draw. Lots of tolerance on this shot. You can be short and a guard. Corner freeze on this top China stone would be just a little rub and roll. Nice shot there. Team China could play the double on these two Latvian stones. Depending on their weight choice, the shooter may be able to roll into the rings. Hitting is the strength of this Team China. Looks like they're playing the yellow double. This is a very vocal team. They give their rocks lots of encouragement. They will make contact, and the shooter will roll over top. So China's currently sitting second and third. Latvia shot stone in the back of the forefoot. I love all of the energy that these athletes bring to the game. They're always engaged, timing rocks, watching their opposition paths, watching their own teammates' paths, learning as much as they can from when they go to throw. I think we just had a great shot by Joseph of Team Canada over on sheet C. I could hear our curling fans. High fives happening down on that end. That's where I wish we had the instant replay so I could tell you what happened. So on our feature game here, China versus Latvia. This rock needs to curl, and it just rubs off the corner guard, does not push it into the rings. Just a little too much line for that stone if they were looking for the draw. See Team China lining up this run back. This would be a shot for three. Another option here is they could play a draw to the side forefoot. They could throw a heavy draw at that one in the back forefoot. Again, a strong hitting team, so I'm not surprised that they're lining up this angled run back for three. So a big shot coming up here from Wang of Team China. Looking at the angled run back attempt for three here. Big risk shot coming up. We can hear them encouraging this rock as it travels down the ice. And it'll just over curl at the end. So a big risk shot there. Team China doesn't quite get the payoff on that one. So Team Latvia will steal one and go up by a score of 9-3 after 4 ends of play. So these teams will get a 7-minute fourth end break. They'll have a chance to hydrate, refuel, talk to their coaches, So Team China has some work to do to get themselves back in the semifinal game. The winning team will advance to the gold medal round, and the losing team will advance to the bronze medal round. So we'll see you back here in about 6 minutes' time for the second half of the semifinal. Okay, looks like we're getting set up here for the fifth end. Looks like Team China is opting to use their power play to start off the fifth end here after the break. So for those of you watching mixed doubles for the first time, teams with hammer do have one power play to use every game. It means that the rocks are adjusted and set up on either side of the sheet. So Team China, using their power play, will put the Latvian stone as a corner guard, and Team China stone will be placed just in front of the tee line behind that corner. So Team China looking to score multiple points here with their power play. They've got some work to do. They tried the run back attempt for 3 in the fourth end. Team Latvia also playing extremely well in the semifinal game. It looks like they're having a lot of fun out there, and they have made some fantastic curling shots here this evening. And a score update from our United States-Canada game. They are currently tied 3-3 after 4 ends of play. So a very close game over on Sheet C between Team Canada and the United States. I'll keep you updated as we go along. It looks like we're ready to go here in our feature game between China and Latvia. So heading into these final 4 ends of play, you can expect Team Latvia is going to want to keep things fairly simple. They'd like to keep things as open as possible and really minimize the scoring opportunities for Team China. Team China is going to be looking to do the opposite. They're going to want to have as many rocks in play as they can in order to generate some multiple point scores. So opening rock for Team Latvia, settled on the top 8 foot just off the center line. Team China choosing to ignore that, using the corner guard. And it looks like they're going to freeze right on top of theirs. And a beautiful shot by Wing. It's going to be a real confidence booster for her starting this fifth end. Also great to see both of these teams making their first stones in the fifth end. Earlier in this week, we noticed a lot of teams coming up short after the break. Typically after a mop, you would see the ice would feel a little quicker for athletes. And this week, a little bit of a unique thing that has been happening. It was actually slowing down. So great to see both of these teams adjusting to the ice after the fourth end break. Team Latvia looking to make a corner freeze on the Chinese stones behind the corner. And what a beauty there by Rushkova of Team Latvia. Beautiful weight and line on that stone. Now that 3 rocks have been played in this end, Team China can start to remove any yellow Latvian stones out of play. Looking for the hit and the roll here. And this one looks like it's going to curl up to the nose. So it looks like Team China may be sitting 3. It's difficult to tell the far end if Team Latvia's stone is out counting any of those ones behind the corner guard. So just a quick look there by Team Latvia. They've got some time as they travel back to the delivering end to talk about what they've seen at the far end. Rashkova throwing the takeout. Might be looking for a hit and roll into the pile of reds on the side. Looks like this one's going to overcurl and sit on the nose. Not a bad place for that rock to stick around. We'll be able to use it later in the ends. Team China taking their time, looking at the angles. You're down a big score. You can take more time looking at the angles and the options in the rings. So you're doing your best to find ways to generate some multiple points. This looks like a draw attempt by Chen of Team China, looking to get another stone in the rings. They have hammer. Weight was pretty nice on that one, but just can't curl by that center Latvian stone. I think they promoted that stone, so Latvia should be sitting one in the top 8 foot. See Rashkova come down to take a look. See Team China come down. They'll have an opportunity to look at the rings while Team Latvia discusses their options. It looks like we're going to have a timeout from Latvia.
Away in.
So Latvia using their timeout here in the 5th end. They're going to take their time to talk this scenario through. They really want to minimize the opportunities for Team China, keep the momentum that they've built over the last few ends. Peeking over to the other sheet, looks like the United States is currently sitting one on the button, frozen on top of the Canadian stone in the back 4 foot. All right, timeout's over. Looks like the decision has been made. So I can't quite see the setup on the stone. It looks like Latvia has opted for the hit on Team China's stone. Might be looking for a roll here. They'll make contact. And they'll roll a little too far. So really nice attempt there. Goal one achieved. Chinese stone has been removed. So Team China will look to play the hit and stick on that Latvian stone in the top 8 foot. They might even be playing a double on this one. Oh, and a really nice shot there by Chen of China. Moves the Latvian stone. Looks like they might have kicked that other yellow Latvian stone. They might be sitting 2 for sure, possibly 3. So final stone from Latvia coming up next. I'm not sure if that Team China stone is overlapping the Latvian stone behind the corner guard. If it is overlapping, they might not be able to play the double. So we'll see what they decide to do after taking a look at these angles. Peeking over onto sheet C while we wait for Latvia to make their decision. Looks like the United States is still sitting shot stone on the button. There are 2 Canadian stones in the 4 foot around it. So there are a couple of options available for Team Latvia. They could decide to make a hit attempt on that red Chinese stone on the side of the rings. They could also choose to ignore it and use that as a corner guard. There is room in the rings if they decided to make a come around draw. You could draw all the way to the back 8 foot and be shot. And it would be very difficult for Team China to remove it from play for more than once. So some options here for Latvia. We'll see what they feel more comfortable with. Team China does have last stone advantage here in the 5th end. It's really important as an athlete in these situations to commit to the shot that you're going to throw. Sometimes when you look at the options too long and you're not sure which one you want to go with, so it's important to take a few seconds, lock that shot in, and throw it well. So this looks like the draw attempt by Lasmus of Latvia. Might even be a guard attempt by Lasmus of Team Latvia. Don't think he looks too happy about that shot, so I think that was a bit of a misfire. I think that was a draw attempt, and unfortunately it just didn't come off clean. So big opportunity here for Team China. Let's see how many points they put up on the board after this final stone from Wang. So it looks like the power play is going to pay off here for Team China with the final stone yet to come. Final stone being delivered by Wang of Team China. Open draw for the extra point. And I think that just slows down in time. It'll be really important for Team Latvia to refocus after that end. They will have hammer coming into the sixth, so it'll be important to score here. Team China will be looking to steal an end away. And it looks like Team China scores 3 in the fifth end using their power play. It's now 9-6 for Latvia over China. Looks like Latvia is going to follow suit and use their power play here in the sixth end. So Team China's stone will be placed as a corner guard. Latvia's stone will be placed on the side of the 8-foot, just above the tee line. So a well played end behind Team China. They scored their 3 using the power play. So we'll see Latvia looking to score multiple points using their power play here in the sixth. So over in the United States-Canada game, the United States steals 1 in the fifth to go up by a score of 4-3. So Team Canada is also using their power play in the sixth end with hammer. So both sheets of ice, power plays in effect. Each team only has 1 power play per game to use. And a nice center guard there by Team China. So they're still down 3 points. They'll be looking to bring that play back to the middle. We'll expect to see some guards and lots of coverage. And then we'll see Team Latvia looking to keep the play to the wings and keep the center open to ensure that they can score a point here in the sixth end with hammer. Looks like Latvia has decided to play to the open side, to sit 2 in the wings. Don't mind that call. It's nice to sit 2. I think my preference would have been to use that corner guard and bring that stone in front of yours, so that way you have 1 open side to peel off later in the end. But it's still Latvia sitting 2 with hammer here in the sixth end using their power play. Team China is looking for the come around draw. And this one comes up just a little bit short. Still a great spot for Team China. Really shrinks down that scoring area for Latvia. Nice encouragement there with Wang and Chen of Team China. It's important for these teammates to keep supporting one another on both sides. So Latvia plays the run, gets that Chinese stone off the top 12 foot. They do leave their shooter as a center line guard. They would have liked to roll their shooter a little bit more. It is high and things are quite open. So I think they'll be happy with how the house is looking so far. So it looks like Team China is going to play this come around draw again. Sounds like a nice shot was made by Team Canada. You can see the flags waving by the spectators out on the ice, sitting in the benches. A really nice draw attempt there by Chen of Team China. Looks like Latvia is still sitting 2. I think we'll see Latvia making a play on that stone because it's in a really good position to be tapped to the button. You may even see the peel on their center line guard to really open up the house. So a few options here. An appeal on that center line guard would be a smart call here, being up 3 with hammer. Looks like they're having some difficulty getting the delivery end on this stone. So you can see Roshkova resetting here. It's the same as anyone. If something doesn't feel right while you're either sitting in the hack or you've got your delivery stick on the rock, it's important to take a moment to reset, go through your pre-shot routine again. So this looks like the hit attempt on Team China's stone in the top 12 foot. This rock needs to curl big to make contact, and it will just go by. This one, uncharacteristic miss there by Reshkova this evening. Good news is there's still lots of room in the rings for your point. Team China has some options here. They can make a come around draw. They could tap the stone they just played. We may even see them make a hit and roll attempt on the open Latvian stone in the 8 foot. So this is the come around draw attempt by Chen, Team China. Like to bury this one. This one coming a little heavy, and that one will slide a little bit too far. We saw this earlier today on the sheet where the left-hand side was gliding a little bit more than the right-hand side. So these athletes may need to compare the times that they're getting, have some conversations about the paths before they throw these stones. So another attempt at this takeout. Line's looking a little tight to that center line guard. So moves that center guard over. The shooter will roll out a play. But that is the pro side miss on that shot. So you'd rather peel off the guard and open things up in the rings than go by everything. So a good adjustment there by Ryzhkova of Team Latvia. They have hammer. You get 1 point here in 6 and even ends. You look to force your opposition in 7 and have hammer coming home in 8. So decision time for Team China. Still have the tap or come around draw, or we may even see them attempt the hit and the roll just to minimize the scoring opportunities for Latvia this end. Over on sheet C, it looks like Team Canada has a wide open draw to the rings 4-3. Team Canada looking to capitalize on their power play this end. All right, so it looks like we're seeing the hit from Wang with final stone of Team China here in the 6th end. Ooh, does make contact and will roll the shooter out of the rings. So a nice looking stone by Joseph of Team Canada coming into the rings and puts it, we'll slide it just to the back 8 foot. So a big 3 points with the power play on sheet C for Team Canada. That will put them up 6-4 heading into the 7th end. On our feature game here between China and Latvia. We'll see which shot Lasmus is going to throw. I expect if Latvia is sitting shot stone, we'll see them make the draw to the full 8 foot. If it's close, we may expect to see them opt for the hit on that stone in the top 12 foot, biting the 8 foot. This looks like the draw. I am surprised by the turn that they decided to take on this stone. We haven't seen many rocks in this path. It'll often be a little bit heavier. This rock needs to go. So unable to capitalize with that power point. I believe Latvia did score 1. So as long as you get your 1 point that end, you've got a comfortable lead with 2 ends left to play. So we'll know who scored once we see where these rocks go in the setup at the far end. So Team China's rock being placed in the back 4 foot. That confirms Latvia did score 1 in the 6, so that's a big point to go up by 4 over Team China. So these 8 ends are a long game. You need to stay patient. On sheet C, it looks like the United States have opted to use their power play in the 7th end. So we'll see if they can replicate a multiple point score like they did earlier in the qualifying round. So here we go. Lasmus throwing the first stones. This team sticking with the same rotation we've seen through this game so far. Again, if you're watching mixed doubles for the first time, these athletes can adjust the rotation at the completion of every end. Line looking really nice on this draw by Lasmus. Needs to slow down. Gets the rub off that back Chinese stone and will come to rest biting the back forefoot. Team China looking to make this come around draw. Tolerance on this shot is anywhere from the top 12 foot to the top button. Want to make sure you keep these stones in front of the tee line. Well thrown stone by wing of Team China. Another coming around draw here. Oh, my apologies for the delay. Forgot to adjust the screen for you there as I was watching these rocks. So that one just underthrown a little bit. Would have liked that stone to have come into the full 8 foot, 4 foot by Rushkova. So this leaves the draw path for Team China to get one in here. So this one coming up a bit short too. And that one will be about 3 to 4 feet in front of the rings. So an opportunity here for Latvia to come around the middle. Side knot, curling a little more. Just doesn't seem to be running as straight as the left-hand side of the sheet. But the little bump there, it rolls to a nice spot to provide cover on their stone in the back forefoot. And it'll make a come around draw more difficult on this right-hand side of the sheet. Like the wide come around draw attempt here by Chen of Team China. We know this side will finish big. And a beautiful stone by Chen of Team China. Seeing a lot more finish on these stones on the right hand side of the sheet. Athletes will need to adjust and throw a little more weight to keep them going than what we've seen on the left-hand side of your screen. So it looks like Breshkova is looking to follow that Chinese stone. I'd like to make a corner freeze on this one. This one's curling. It'll bump their stone, but not quite far enough. We've got lots of cards in play along the center here. Not sure who is second shot. Definitely looks like Team China is sitting one for sure, possibly two. Okay, looking for the come around freeze here once again. A few more rocks have gone down this path, so the pebble might be a little more broken down now. And this one's just going to slide by on the tap attempt. So a final stone from Lasmus of Latvia coming up next. We'll see which draw path Lasmus decides to take. There is a draw available on both sides of the sheet. I think we're going to see come around draw on the left-hand side of your screen. Like this rock to be at least full 8 foot, the top of the rings, all the way to frozen on that one. This one's gonna have to hold its line to get by those center guards. Just another over curl there by Lasmus. So an opportunity here for Team China to put a couple of points back on the board. Here we go, getting ready for final stone. Team China looking to score multiple points. Saw Team USA roll off Canadian stone, but they might have rolled far enough for a couple of points, so we'll wait for that score to go on the board. And this one from Wang really over curling as well, so couple of over curls this end by both teams. Might be seeing a change in the ice. So they'll have an opportunity to check in with their coaches as our IPAs work to get these stones cleared out of the rings. They'll line them up on the sides, and then they will get them ready for these athletes to throw. I see a note about moving the stream. Unfortunately, I am not allowed to stream Sheet C on our YouTube channel tonight. So I can continue to give you updates. It is available through Recast on the World Curling Federation website. And it's also on the CBC Sports live stream.
Yeah.
So it looks like Team China scores 1 in the 7th end. So Latvia will be up 10-7 with hammer here in the final end of play. On sheet C, the United States pick up 2 with their power play, so they're all tied up. 6-6 between United States and Canada. Canada will have hammer in the final end of play. So 2 close semifinal games here at the 2023 Mixed Double World Wheelchair Curling Championships. We'll have the gold medal and bronze medal games for the World Wheelchair Curling Championships at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the gold medal and bronze medal game for the Mixed Doubles World Wheelchair Curling Championships will be at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for those of you in BC, a reminder that it is daylight savings. Just a reminder to spring those clocks forward an hour. It's been an exciting semifinal game here on sheet E between China and Latvia. And a nice draw there by Wing, keeping this one in the top of the forefoot. So these teams are not allowed to remove any stones from play until the third stone has been thrown. You can bump rocks around, but they must remain in play. Draw coming in from Latvia needs to get around that center guard. It's just going to rub off, but this stone has enough weight and it'll stop just at the top of the 12 foot. Some nice weight on that one by Lasmus after coming up short last end. Good adjustment on the weight. It's nice to see Lasmus and Wang making those adjustments for their first stones here in the 8th end. This one from Chen looking really nice as well, as it'll slide into the top forefoot. So good rock positioning there by Team China. They'll need to steal 3 to force this game into an extra end. So with that third stone being thrown, Latvia can start to remove any stones out of play. Looking for the hit. Just rub off that top one, move it on the side, and remove that Chinese stone out the back. Rolls the shooter behind that corner rock in the top 12 foot. So a nice shot there by Latvia to open up that scoring position. They do have hammer here in the 8th end. China opting for the come around draw. They'd like this rock to be full forfeit buried. And just rubs off that Latvian stone in the back of the forefoot. So Team China currently sitting shot stone the back of the button. There is room to make a play on that stone. That center guard is fairly high, so there's room to make a play on the stone in the back of the forefoot. And just curls up at the end, removes shot stone out of the back. China, I believe, is currently sitting one with a red stone just biting the side, forefoot. That one is wide open. And Team China needs their next 2 stones to be counting in order to force this into an extra end. So China needs this stone to be in the rings. Ideally, they'd like to be shot around their corner guard in the top forefoot. This rock is looking really nice. And a beautiful draw by Chen of Team Canada. May have slid a little bit too deep. Is a double opportunity here for Latvia. Make contact with that stone on the side forefoot. And roll it into the rings. Just need one of these stones to go away and you'll book your ticket to the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. And right on the mark by Rushkova of Latvia. Hugs at the other end with their teammate. So Latvia defeats China. Latvia will play in the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Team China will be playing for the bronze. Again, Lasmus coming in as a replacement player in this event and participating in the World Wheelchair Curling Championships this week after an injury occurred.
Yes, I think it's the doubles in there.
All smiles.
They've been doubles every morning.
So thanks for joining us here this evening. We'll see you again tomorrow through CBC Sports or Recast, or if you're local, on Check TV. So good evening and come back tomorrow for lots of gold medal and bronze medal action here at the Richmond Curling Club. And I can stay on for a few moments. I'm not able to show you the game, but a big last end happening on sheet C. The United States is currently sitting shot stone on the back of the button, buried behind 2 Canadian center line guards. So Team Canada's got a little bit of trouble with 2 stones left to play. So thank you for joining us for this China-Latvia game. Once again, if you'd like to catch the United States-Canada game, you can access it through Recast off of the live streaming links on the World Curling Federation website, or you can find it here in Canada through the CBC Sports streaming.
Make so sure they can't draw down.
So all streaming tomorrow will be done through CBC Sports, Check TV, and Recast. There will be no Curl BC YouTube streams tomorrow. So check around for the links. We hope to see you back for more curling action for the bronze and gold medal games of the 2023 World Wheelchair Curling Championships, the 2023 Mixed Double World Wheelchair Curling Championships.